Layering is one of the most important tools if you want a bigger and more complex sound. And if you struggle with layering, I'm gonna simplify it in this video. It all just comes down to two things: layering vertically and layering horizontally. When I say layering vertically, I'm making sure sounds have space in the frequency spectrum, and when I say layering horizontally, I'm making sure they have space over time. Let's start with vertical layering. So think of it like a sandwich. There are lows, mids, and highs, and our objective is to have a perfectly balanced sandwich. So if my burger has too much ketchup, I'm not gonna put more ketchup. If my drink has too much tequila, then doesn't work on that one. So all we have to do is understand the frequency the sound has and then just fill out the spaces. So if we have a clap that occupies the mids and we want it to have more presence, adding something like a snare might not work, but adding something bright like a shaker, a hi-hat, a tambourine might work. If I have a kick that's too boring and I want to give it more color, I can layer some stomp or some foley on top of that. If you want your 808s to have more presence, then add some high frequencies to it. For example, the popular Spins 808 is a combination of an 808 as well as the reverb of a snap, and that's what gave it its subtle high-end texture. Another cool example is if we have a bass that sounds too thin, we can add a sub bass under it to thicken up the sound, aka girth. Now we can use the same concept when we're making melodies as well. If you're gonna stack instruments on top of each other, make sure they have their own space. Experiment with shifting instruments up and down an octave so you can find a space for them. Another cool thing we can do with frequency is make things sound bigger. For example, in Serum, let's just load up bass in. So if I increase the amount of voices it plays, it doesn't really sound bigger. But once I start to move that detuned pitch, every single one of those voices is gonna move a little bit above and below that main pitch. And because of that, we can create this really big, wide sound. And this is basically what any chorus plugin does. Duplicates the sound, pitches it slightly, and then delays it to create a chorus effect. So once again, before and after,
much girthier.
This also works really well on basses. For layering vertically, all you really need is an EQ, because if there isn't space for a sound, you might just need to carve it in yourself. With an EQ, you can take frequencies you like from some sounds and combine it with other frequencies you like from other sounds. And if you have a lot of sounds to choose from, then the possibilities are endless. One thing you should know is that it's much easier to layer high frequencies versus low frequencies. I think we all can agree that this sounds better than this. Let's talk about layering horizontally. Before we talked about layering over frequency, now we're gonna be layering over time. Feel like an umpire. Now, sometimes you might have two sounds that live in the same frequency space, and you can ignore everything I just said before and play them together. The only thing is, you can't play them at the exact same time. So the classic example, the kick and the 808 are clashing. Tale as old as time. A really easy way to clean that up is to just simply remove that transient from the 808. So the kick comes in, the 808 comes right after, and it sounds like one nice thing. So if I want to layer a clap and a snare, I'm just gonna stagger it so they don't play at the same time. And now look, we're making disco music. And this is basically what sidechaining is. Sound A comes in, and sound B ducks out, and when sound A ends, sound B comes back in. And once again, this works for melodies as well. It might be as simple as playing when another instrument is not playing. Listen to a melody, find a place where it's not going too crazy, and then insert yourself there. And when you use both of these concepts at the exact same time, you can create some really full sounding music. So for example, if I want these vocals to sound wider, something about you, I simply can't just duplicate this 8 times and then press play. Something about you. That literally did nothing. I can slightly detune it so it sounds wider, and that might help a bit. Something about you. I can shift all the vocals over slightly, and that also might help a bit. Something about you. But to be honest, the best way to do it would be to record 8 different vocal takes, because they each have their own unique set of pitches and they each have their own unique set of rhythms, and that's gonna create the biggest sound. Something about you. Couple extra random things. Saturation is a really good tool to combine sounds together. Put 2 sounds in the same mixer track, add some saturation, and then boost it up. Those extra harmonics are really gonna help blend those sounds together. If you have problems layering a certain sound, it might be because it takes up too many frequencies. So use the EQ, carve it out, and make some space. The last thing I want to talk about is panning. It's important. I don't know how to put it in my analogy though. So using the stereo, panning something left and panning something right is another really good way to give space. Stereo imaging and panning kind of goes hand in hand with everything I talked about before. But there's a million cool things you can do with layering. Layer ambience, layer granular textures, reverses,
volume shifts, pitch up,
pitch down,
distortion, OTT, reverb, parallel. I'm just saying words. If you simplify all those, it mainly just boils down to vertical and horizontal layering. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm in the middle of making a really big video, so in the meantime, I'm gonna make these little teeny tutorials for you guys. So make sure you guys comment below what you guys want me to talk about next. And if we're talking about good layered sounds, go check out my drum kits. And that's about it for now. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.
If you have any suggestions, leave a comment. If you like this video, leave a like. If you really like this video, subscribe. If you didn't like this video, leave. Just leave. Get out of here!